name is Robert A. Lutz, a.k.a. Bob Lutz, and I'm Vice Chairman for Global Product Development, General Motors.
You're pretty much looking between A123 batteries and LG Chem.
Right, yeah.
Both of them have had about the same money until a couple weeks ago. Korea gave their country, Korea, gave the battery companies over $1 billion to start working on their batteries.
Yeah.
The U.S. government has not done the same.
Well, you know, this is a problem that I have with the general industrial policy of the United States, in that we regulate the heck out of our industries, but we never help. And it's like we have no industrial policy and no government programs in place to try to help American industry win. And I think it's a great tragedy that all of the lithium-ion technology, which was originally developed in the United States, has all wandered to the Far East for production. And we've had numerous conversations with the Department of Energy and with President Bush and members of his cabinet, and said, look, we don't need, the American battery industry doesn't need better chemists or anything like that. We've got all the world-class people, but what we need, what the American battery industry needs, is money to be able to develop the production processes and get on the step and become competitive with the Koreans, Japanese, and Chinese. And everybody says, well, you know, we don't mind giving money for research and development, but when it comes to putting stuff into production, you know, we think that should be the responsibility of industry. So it's just a difference in philosophy, and frankly, I don't think it's a good one, because you're seeing a lot of these concerted technology efforts by other governments to help their industry get key future technologies in place.
And I might give the example of China. China has spent billions of dollars. They've got 2,000 researchers and developers at Tianjin University alone working on lithium-ion batteries.
Yeah, and you know, you'd hate to see a situation where just as we reduce our dependency on foreign oil, we've substituted dependency on foreign lithium-ion batteries.
Right. How are you going to bring this in line with the cost of an internal combustion engine?
Well, initially we're just not. I mean, we can sell the vehicle for the cost of an internal combustion vehicle, but it'll be a relatively expensive internal combustion vehicle, and we'd like to have the price lower. But, you know, this is first-generation technology. The batteries are expensive. The power electronics are expensive. A lot of the electrical components are made by companies that are not used to working with the automobile industry at high volumes, and so their prices per unit are relatively high. With the second generation and third generation, we'll take care of all that, and Gen 2 and Gen 3 are already in the works. They'll look the same as this, but we'll find belt and suspenders stuff where we can take out one of the two. So as we get through that process, the costs will come down. See the pain borne by three parties. We give up most of the profit on the car. The consumer has to pay a little bit more than she would like, and the U.S. government kick in some sort of subsidy or tax credit for the purchase of a Volt to get it to where it's affordable.
The tax credit like the ones that the hybrids have initially got.
Yes, exactly right. Exactly right. Except I feel that since this vehicle will burn no fuel at all, in most cases, I think it should have a larger credit.
I've heard up to $7,500.
Well, that's what we would ideally like, and that would really bring the price down into a range where I think most Americans could handle it.
When do you expect this to come out?
We are going to build 50 Volts this year, mules, several hundred next year, and hundreds in 2010, which will, when we say end of 2010, production, we mean cars and dealerships with good production following on. So it's still November 2010, and it's looking good.
Bob Lutz, thank you very much.
Thank you. Always nice.